Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wren Park Wiffleball Warehouse, year number 23, 2014, the championship between MKS Siding and the Eager Beavers. My name is Dave Bowen, and I'm happy to have you along with us for the ride. At this time, you're seeing our pregame festivities begin, and we'll let you listen in a little bit as our starting lineups will be coming to you very, very shortly. Tonight's championship game will bring MKS Siding looking to three-peat as champions. We have not had a team do that in the history of Wren Park. Win 3 in a row. MKS, that is their goal this evening. The Eager Beavers, a new team put together of some veterans from wiffle ball tournament action and some players that had just recently graduated from high school. See the spotlights going through the crowd here. This is one of the reasons why 16 teams battle it out to play championship wiffle ball at Wren Park here in Renville, Ohio.
Welcome to Wren Park championship battle between MKS and the Eager Beavers. 16 teams.
Your announcer for the play-by-play here at the stadium is Mike Heiser. Right now he is getting ready to introduce the players from each team.
2014. Will it be MKS or the Beavers? Wiffle ball champion. Let's meet the players. For MKS, the non-starters.
We're going to start with our non-starters from MKS Siding. Briggs Orsbon coming out from the center field fence. Briggs, a Crestview graduate, outstanding athlete. Attended Ball State University, did Briggs. Jordan Bear, also a sub for MKS. MKS Siding, the owner of MKS Siding and the coach of MKS, Billy McCoy, assisted by assistant coach Mark Gregory. Here comes your starting lineup for MKS Siding, your two-time defending champions. At first base, it'll be Sean LaFountain.
From Ohio State University.
Your catcher,
Brian Bassett. From Lakeview High School. In pitching, Nick Missler.
Nick Missler will do the pitching duties for MKS Siding. They've stuck with this lineup throughout the tournament. And if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Levi Orsbon, also a Crestview High School graduate. He is your left fielder. At third base, you'll have Nathan Bassett. Nathan has had an outstanding tournament down there at third. Some very soft hands and has thrown a tremendous amount of runners out at first base. And your right fielder for MKS from Crestview High School and a graduate of Ball State, Tony Springer. Tony, who was an assistant coach on the basketball staff at Crestview this winter on that team that went 29-0, he also was an assistant coach on the Crestview baseball team that reached the Final Four. An outstanding first year of coaching for one Tony Springer. Now the Eager Beavers. Their only sub for tonight's championship game, Mark Evans. And now their starting lineup. They're going to start their left fielder, a 2014 graduate of Crestview High School, a three-sport athlete, Isaiah Zimmerman, your left fielder. At third base for the Eager Beavers, Cole Ralston, also a Crestview grad. The pitcher for the Eager Beavers, Malachi Murphy. He's a left-hander, and while this is a hitter's game, you'll see that both pitchers do a great job of trying to put the ball in a position that makes it tough for the hitter to do anything with it. Your right fielder, also a 2014 grad, and a member of that state champion basketball team and Final Four baseball team, Brock Ralston. Nehemiah Murphy will be your first baseman, a brother of Malachi's. And catching for the Eager Beavers, a Delta St. John's grad. He's been wearing a Crestview hat all evening. I think we've changed him over a little bit. Tanner Calvalige. So those are your starting lineups for this evening.
Tonight's officials are
your umpires for this championship game, and they've done the tournament as a whole. Tim Busher, longtime OHSAA basketball and baseball official. Gary Stelzer, who's done baseball for many years. And then Tony Stammen has been helping out through the tournament as well. As we continue the pregame pageantry, the next part of our pregame ceremony will be a moment of silence to acknowledge all of those that we have lost and to honor the servicemen and women of this great country who have sacrificed so much for us.
During a moment of silence to remember those who cannot be with us tonight and to respect the men and women of our armed forces.
And to honor that moment of silence, we are playing Amazing Grace out in center field on the flute. Pageantry of Wren Park.
To honor our great country.
And at this time we will have the national anthem. Post 207, Sons of the American Legion are presenting the colors of our great nation this evening. And tonight's national anthem is going to be played on the guitar by Mr. Matt Matika.
Tonight's national anthem is being played by Mr. Matt Matika.
Here comes Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Matika and our national anthem. gentlemen, your national anthem by Mr. Matt Matika.
Wow. How about a nice hand for Mr. Matt Matika?
Parts of the pre-game championship activities have been sponsored by the Jack Davis family in memory of Jamie Davis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to Wren Park Wiffleball Warehouse 2014 style. We are excited to have WOSN here again for the second year in a row. And we really appreciate everybody tuning in to watch WOSN, not just as a leader of high school sports, but for our Wiffleball Warehouse Tournament Championship game. This is a great honor for us to have WOSN along for the ride. Tonight's game, MKS Siding will be the visitors on your scoreboard, and the Eager Beavers will be the home team. We hope you enjoyed the pregame festivities as we get ready to roll. MKS, they're looking to three-peat. No team in the history of the Wiffleball Warehouse has done that, and they are looking to achieve that feat. They've got an outstanding team here in their prime, and we'll get that straightened out. It looks like MKS is the home team. So MKS is a home team. We're getting things ready to roll here. As you can see, we've got a little fog in the air from the pregame festivities of fireworks and fog with the introduction of the players. We'll let that clear up a little bit. Both teams have had an outstanding tournament, to say the least. MKS defeated the Jaeger Bombers 6-1 to get here. I'm sorry, in the first round game. Then they defeated the Whiffers 10-3. Then they defeated the Bunnies 10-1. So they have given up a total of 5 runs to get to the championship game. The Eager Beavers, they defeated Shotzes 13-3. Then they defeated the Honey Badgers 9-2. And in the Final Four, they defeated 15-4. So they have scored a lot of runs and given up a total of 9. Again, we're excited to have you along for the ride tonight as we get ready to start championship business here with MKS Siding and the Eager Beavers. We'll be right back after this message. Welcome back to Wren Park Wiffleball Warehouse, where the Eager Beavers will lead things off here in the top of the first. We're going to have Tim Busher behind the plate with Gary Stelzer on the bases. That's our umpiring crew. And stepping into the box, Isaiah Zimmerman. Nick Missler on the mound for MKS Siding. And Zimmerman grounds out to Nathan Bassett. And in the pregame, we stated how Nathan has had very soft hands, and there you see it on display with the first batter of the game, Isaiah Zimmerman. Bassett retires him for the first out of the top of the first. Cole Ralston, your batter. He plays third base for the Eager Beavers. Nick Missler, your pitcher. Brian Bassett, your catcher. Nathan Bassett at third. Sean LaFountain at first. Levi Orsbon in left field, and Tony Springer in right field. That's how they line up for MKS. Missler takes care of Cole Ralston for the second out here in the first inning. Malachi Murphy, he's had 2 home runs in the tournament this year, and they both have been opposite field blasts. Play with a big strike zone. You can throw spinners as a pitcher, but it is a hitter's game. 3 balls, 3 strikes, and then after you have 2 strikes on you, you can only foul 2 balls off and stay at the plate. Your third foul ball after 2 strikes, you would be out. Murphy pops up. Nathan Bassett comes all the way across from third base to field that fly ball. Nothing for the Eager Beavers in the top of the first. first three batters as we see MKS come to the plate. It'll be Sean LaFountain, Brian Bassett, and Nick Missler. Defensively for the Eager Beavers, you've got Malachi Murphy on the hill, Tanner Cavillage behind the plate. At third base, Cole Ralston. Left field, Isaiah Simmerman. Right field, Brock Ralston. And at first base, Nehemiah Murphy. Sean LaFountain's going to lead things off for MKS. All he does is hit the ball hard into the ground and beats it out consistently. Takes a strike there. One of the fastest players. He actually puts that one in the air, line drive, but Simmerman can't come up with it. So MKS gets their leadoff runner on here in the bottom of the first. That brings Brian Bassett, number 8, to the plate, and he'll look to move LaFountain up to second, and he does. There's a collision here, and Ralston and LaFountain are both shaken up. We've seen a lot of great sportsmanship here. Both guys gonna have to take a little bit of a breather right now. That's one of the hardest collisions. That is the hardest collision we've seen in the tournament this year. Brock was coming in to field the ball. LaFountain was running to second. We do have EMTs here, and Rick High is out at second base checking LaFountain. The game has turned into a tremendous game of speed. Again, incidental contact. Both players didn't see the other, and we had that collision there at second base, or between first and second. So LaFountain's walking off. And they're checking Brock Ralston now at the pitcher's mound. So Briggs Orsbon is going to come in the game for Sean LaFountain for MKS Siding. You don't give up anything athletically there, because Briggs Orsbon, again, an outstanding athlete, but Sean LaFountain, he just has a knack for getting on base for MKS as a left-hander and with the speed he has. But Briggs Orsbon just brings a different angle with everything with that now, because he, as we obviously know, is a great athlete as well. We're still checking out Ralston there at the pitcher's mound area. Brock, that is. And I'll tell you what, we'll be right back after this and get things sorted out. Welcome back to Wren Park, and again, in the bottom of the first, we've had a collision between Sean LaFountain and Brock Ralston. Incidental, Sean LaFountain was diagnosed with what appears to be a concussion right away, so he is out of the game. And then after making some observations with Brock, it was determined that he is in the same boat. So both players exit the game with concussions, and Briggs Orsbon comes in the game for LaFountain, and Nate Evans comes in the game for the Eager Beavers. Nate will go behind the plate. Tanner Cavillage behind the plate will go to right field. Mark Evans is our sub for the Eager Beavers. So that's going to change the dynamics of this game. LaFountain, again, an outstanding hitter for MKS. Brock Ralston has come up with some big hits in the tournament and played a very solid right field. Cavillage is out there for the first time in the tournament. So on paper, it looks like MKS, they're the two-time defending champion. Things should go their way, but you can throw that out the window when you play the game, obviously, and with these injuries, that will have an impact on what happens tonight. After one inning then, it's a 0-0. So Mark Evans, who just entered the game for Brock Ralston, will lead off here in the top of the second for the Eager Beavers. It'll be Mark, then Nehemiah Murphy, and Tanner Cavillage. A great job of officiating by our crew here this evening. Tim Busher behind the plate and Gary Stelzer on the bases. Again, just like in high school sports, the safety of the players is paramount. Big collision out there between first and second, and we want to make sure that both Sean and Brock are taken care of. Not that it matters with that head injury, but there's no re-entry. in Wren Park wiffle ball action. Once you're in the game, or once you're taken out of the game, you cannot re-enter. There's a play at first. So Mark Evans is retired. Your first baseman, Nehemiah Murphy, the batter. And Levi Orsbon takes care of him in right field. Tanner Cavillage grounds out. So 3 up, 3 down for the Eager Beavers. We go to the bottom of the second inning for MKS. It'll be Nathan Bassett, Tony Springer, and then Briggs Orsbon. First 3 batters. For the tournament, we also have a Little Miss Wiffle Ball. And I'd like to recognize Lexi Parrish, 10-year-old Lexi Parrish, a 5th grader. She is the 2014 Wren Park Little Miss Wiffle Ball Princess. Congratulations, Lexi. Nathan Bassett, your third baseman, stepping to the plate. Foul ball. Each team brings a $100 entry fee to the tournament in order to get in. The tournament bracket, or the 16 teams, I should say, is filled on August 1st. Bang, bang play there at first, and that's what makes Wren Park Wiffle Ball very exciting. Let's see if we have some plays at the home plate this evening. We've had a lot throughout the tournament, a lot of tag plays as runners have been aggressive on the bases. Right there, you get a sampling of it at second. We get the out on the force. And Tony Springer is on first base now. And Briggs Orsbon, your batter. Again, back on August 1st is the sign-up, August 1st at 5 p.m. And 15 teams have to wait in line. The champion gets the automatic bid into the next year. So besides just competing for the sake of competition, if you win, you put yourself in position that you do not have to wait in line. And the field was full. We basically had 15 teams in line at around 8 o'clock the night before. That would be July 31st. So we had teams waiting all night long here in the town of Wren to be officially signed up for the tournament on August 1st. Then a week ago Friday, that's when the draw occurs, and it is a blind draw for all 16 teams. There's a shot to right field, and it's a fair ball. And Tony Springer's gonna score. So Brian Bassett with the double to right field scores Springer from first base, and MKS dents the scoring column first to take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. Stepping to the plate, your pitcher, Nick Missler. Two outs in the inning. Let's see if Missler can do anything. Drives it hard to right field, but in front of the warning track, Tanner Cavillage takes that out of the air for the third out in the inning. 1 run for MKS in the bottom of the second, scored by Tony Springer, and I guess now's as good a time as any. Tony is a 2-time defending champion with MKS. His father, Dave, played in the tournament years ago and also has several championships with Renko and Slusher's Jewelry. Our first 3 batters for the Eager Beavers: Isaiah Simmerman, Cole Ralston, and Malachi Murphy. Simmerman, again, a 3-sport athlete at Crestview this past year, a graduate. A tremendous year of success for him and his teammates in football, basketball, and baseball. He was a key ingredient of those runs. There's a bang-bang play. And Zimmerman is retired for the first out of the inning. Cole Ralston, your third baseman. The bases, they're 50 feet apart. First to second, home to first, first to second, second to third, third to home. But second is deeper because we play on a 70-degree field. It's not your basic right angle baseball field. It's 70 degrees, shaped more like a kite. And that pushes second base deeper. So a lot of times you'll see runners as they hit second base coming to third. Third is just a quick tap on the way to home because your momentum is carrying you that way. At third base, you see that there is a black circle. We call that affectionately the black hole because it is a downward slope right there as well. A lot of runners, when they hit third, if they're trying to stop, they'll hit the ground because their legs just buckle under them coming down off the black hole. Malachi Murphy is safe at first. So, with one out, the Eager Beavers have Cole Ralston at second and Malachi Murphy at first. And Mark Evans at the plate. Again, Mark Evans in the game for Brock Ralston, who was in a collision with Sean LaFountain. And MKS did change their defensive stance. They have Briggs Orsbon, in right field, and Tony Springer moved to first base to take LaFountain's place. Out at second, safe at home as the ball is jarred away from Brian Bassett. So the Eager Beavers pick up a run here in the top of the third, and now we're 1-1. 2 outs in the inning, but Mark Evans, give him the RBI there. And your batter is Nehemiah Murphy, your first baseman. Hits it down to Nathan Bassett. He of the soft hands, and he retires. Murphy. The Eager Beavers pick up a run here in the top of the third, and we're all tied up. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. It's going to be Levi Orsbon, Nathan Bassett, and Tony Springer. 50 feet bases. Again, second base is deeper because of the 70-degree angle of the field. Down the lines, we're 122. And I believe in straightaway center, we're at 125. 3 strikes, 3 balls, 2 foul ball limit after 2 strikes. 3 outs per inning. You have 6-person teams on the field. And again, Mark Evans, that's a big hit for him because I don't think he's been in the tournament up to this point. It's deep at the warning track, retired by Isaiah Zimmerman. That was Levi Orsbon, first out of the inning. We do not allow pegging here at Wren Park. A lot of wiffle ball tournaments, you can throw the ball at the runners to get them out, referred to as pegging. That does not occur here at Wren Park. Going to be a tight play at first. Nice work by the brothers, Nehemiah to Malachi Murphy, to retire Nathan Bassett. Brings double deuces. Tony Springer to the plate with 2 outs. That's deep, and it's coming right at us. And that is a home run over the green monster for Tony Springer. So the Eager Beavers tie this game up in the top of the third, and number 22, Tony Springer, says not for long as he goes deep. And that is a home run for Tony Springer. Bill Miller Auto Sales sponsors all home runs in the tournament this year. So congratulations to Tony, and MKS takes a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the third. Briggs Orsbon retired by Zimmerman for the 3rd out in the inning. After 3 complete, the Eager Beavers 1 and MKS Siding 2. Your first 3 batters for the Eager Beavers, it's going to be Tanner Cavillage, the Delta St. John's grad, followed by Zimmerman and Cole Ralston. No leading off or stealing. You probably have observed that at this point. No middle spikes in the name of safety. no bunting or half swings. You got to attack the ball. It is a hitter's game, so we want to make sure that you get after it there in the batter's box. As Cavalier does right there, and he's out as Nathan Bassett covers that third base area very, very well. Tanner gets down the line extremely fast. Bassett unswayed in throwing him out. Isaiah Simmerman, your batter. Levi Orsbon deep from left field almost throws out Simmerman, who again brings some strong wheels to the game. But Simmerman is safe. So with one out, Cole Ralston will be your batter. Missler, your pitcher. Nick Missler from Lincoln View High School. Pitching to Brian Bassett, Van Wert grad, and a recent Ohio State grad. Ralston right back at Missler, going to get the out at first. They get it there. Simmerman moves up on the play, so he's at second base now with 2 outs. Malachi Murphy, a solid tournament for the Beavers. Let's see if he can put something on the grass here and see what Simmerman can do with those legs. We play 7 innings like high school baseball as we find ourselves here in the top of the 4th in a 2-1 game. Malachi goes to the right side. Simmerman's going to attack the plate, and there's a collision, and he's safe as the ball is bobbled. Had a pretty good idea. We've seen it earlier in the game where Simmerman simply goes with reckless abandon and ties this game up again. That's action at home plate. I don't know what would have been called in the major leagues with the plate being blocked, but hey, this is wiffle ball warehouse action. It's safe at first, and another run scores. Another run scores. And the eager Beavers have put themselves ahead of MKS Siding. This is the first time in the tournament that MKS has found themselves behind. And they're rattled a little bit. Tony Springer out there settling Nick Missler down. Two outs. Nehemiah Murphy is your batter. Mark Evans, who's done an outstanding job coming into this game for Brock Ralston. That's his second RBI of the game, I believe. And the eager Beavers find themselves ahead 3-2. Still batting to Bassett. Again, solid at third to retire Murphy. In the top of the 4th, the Beavers pick up 2. 3-2 in their favor. 7-inning games again. In the first and second round, we actually play 7 innings or 45 minutes, whichever comes first. But when we get to the semifinals and the championship game, we're going to play it like a regular baseball game as far as no time, no sudden death. Home team gets their at-bat if they're behind at the 7th inning on. Again, this is year 23 for the warehouse as Brian Bassett leads things off. And Brian Bassett is safe at first, leading off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Conceived by our first commissioner, Jamie Davis, as a way to have the 18 to 26-year-old crowd have something to do at the annual Wren Homecoming Festival. Did Jamie see this happening as to what it is today as far as the tournament? I don't think so. And it looks like we have an ejection. And Tim Busher has ejected Nick Missler. And we typically do not see this kind of behavior at the warehouse. As overall, we do have teams exhibit outstanding sportsmanship. But to say MKS is rattled right now, that's an understatement. So our score is 3-2. And Jordy Bear is going to come in for Nick Missler. So we'll have a new pitcher when MKS goes to the field in the top of the 5th inning. We have runners on first and second. Orsbon Levi is up with nobody out. It's a single elimination tournament. So it's do or die, and that's why we have these two teams competing as hard as they are here in the championship game. Orsbon down to Ralston. He steps on third, and that's all he's going to get. But that is the first out of the inning, and that's a big out with runners on first and second. And MKS, they have the ability to simply explode. They've had our biggest inning of the tournament where they scored 8 runs in one half of an inning. Nathan Bassett, your batter. To Cole Ralston again. And on the tag, Jordy Bear is out. So we have 2 outs, and we've got a situation. We got a dead ball here. We got a player hurt. We're seeing some things here, folks, that we have never seen in the history. The collision, we've seen that before a couple times. But right now, I believe that's Nathan Bassett, isn't it? Down after he hit first base. I don't know if he turned an ankle or if he's got a cramp. We'll be right back after this message. Nathan Bassett's going to stay in the game. I don't know if he hit the base or what the case may have been, but leg injury, but he's going to gut it out. Tony Springer's your batter here. And folks, I'm sure you've seen some wide shots, but it looks like we have around, I'd say 1,000 to 1,200 people here. We're 6, 7 deep on the outfield fence. The bleachers are packed to capacity, and then we are 3 or 4 deep along the fences on the first and third base sideline. So an outstanding game as far as competition. It's a 1-run game here in the bottom of the 4th. And we have 2 outs in the inning with the runners on first and second. Set the table again. Tony Springer homered his last at bat. A 3-run jack right now would really, really make this interesting as the game has been going back and forth. Not a jack, but it's a shot up the middle, and Zimmerman fields it. Play at the plate, he's safe. Levi Orsbon scores, and on the throw, the runners move up. So Zimmerman took the gamble and did not get the out at home plate, and Nathan Bassett goes to third, Tony Springer to second. And with 2 outs, you've got Briggs Orsbon at the plate, and we have a tie game, 3-3. We do not have an infield fly rule. Wouldn't have that situation now anyway with 2 outs and runners on second and third, but just reviewing the wiffle ball rules as we go along to bring you up to speed. And now we have bases loaded. That might have been one of those unintentional intentional walks in order to give them a force out at any base. And fielded by Nehemiah Murphy, and he tags Briggs Orsbon. That keeps a run from scoring and gets the Eager Beavers out of the inning. They give up 1 run. We got ourselves a good one here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to the top of the 5th. After 4 complete, it's 3-3. We go to the top of the fifth. It's 3-3, Eager Beavers and MKS Siding championship game, Renway Wiffleball Warehouse 2014. Tanner Cavalich is going to lead things off for the Eager Beavers. Mentioned Jamie Davis was our first commissioner of Renway Park, second commissioner Jody McClure, and our current commissioner Jack Davis. Jack will attest that, yeah, he may be the commissioner, but there is an outstanding wiffleball committee that helps make this happen. Tanner Cavalich, your batter. Tony Springer comes over from first base from the press box. I thought he and Nathan might have a collision there, but Tony takes care of the first out. Isaiah Zimmerman stepping to the plate. It's been a beautiful weekend. It's been a beautiful summer, but a beautiful weekend down here at Wren, Ohio. And we do play rain or shine as long as it's not threatening weather. But we haven't had to worry about that this weekend, that's for sure. Zimmerman, second out of the inning. Cole Ralston, your batter.
Cole Ralston, now your batter.
And Ralston pops up. That's the third out of the inning. So a quiet inning for the Eager Beavers here in the top of the fifth. 3 up, 3 down. The first 3 batters for MKS Siding. It's going to be Jordan Baird's going to lead things off, followed by Levi Orsbon and Nathan Bassett. All the bats and balls are provided. The equipment goes from side to side as far as the bat and the banana bat. We actually have a banana bat that the players can use as well. You don't see that used very often. They stay with the black bat that's hollow, and the wiffle ball has dimples all the way around. It's not a half dimple ball like you see a lot of wiffle balls. This one has dimples or holes throughout the entire surface. Jordy Baird flies out to Nehemiah Murphy. That brings Levi Orsbon to the plate. Number 5, that's what he wore in high school. Hits it on the ground, that's the key. Cole Ralston throws wide. And Levi is going to stay at first wisely as he slid into first base there. Nathan Bassett, your batter. Nehemiah Murphy takes care of Bassett at first base. Levi Orsbon moves to second on the play. So with 2 outs, Tony Springer, your batter. He's having a great championship game right now. Everybody's safe there. Tough play for Cole Ralston there. So you have Tony Springer at first, Levi Orsbon at third. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Briggs, Orsbon, your batter. A lot of fireworks tonight. We're not talking in the air. It's been on the field of play. Ralston retires Briggs Orsbon in a tight play to retire the side. Nothing for MKS after 5 complete. It's 3-3.
In honor of those serving in the armed forces, our firefighters and paramedics.
Gloves are optional as well. Early on in the tournament's history, you saw a lot of players using gloves, but as the speed of the game has increased, the glove has become somewhat of a dinosaur. At this time, we have senior Bella Chorvis from Crestview singing God Bless America for us. job by Crestview Senior Bella Chorvis in singing God Bless America. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. We're all knotted up at 3. The Eager Beavers will bring Malachi Murphy, Mark Evans, and Nehemiah Murphy to the plate. First 3 batters. And the Eager Beavers get their first batter on base as Malachi Murphy reaches Mark Evans. It'll be his job to move him along here. Behind home plate, you see that we have a tree, a catawba tree, as Evans flies out to Levi Orsbon. And that ball gets kicked away as he tried to go back to first. And Nehemiah moves up to second. So the potential lead run is now on second base with 1 out. And your batter, Nehemiah Murphy. Up the middle. And Levi Orspon's there to take care of that one. Tanner Cavalier, your batter. But the tree behind home plate, that's in play. Ball hits that tree and comes down, and it's caught by the catcher. It's an out. Foul ticks are also outs. The ball doesn't have to go a certain height for the catcher to be able to record an out by catching any tick off the bat. Nathan Bassett again. Nice play at third base. So nothing for the Eager Beavers here in the top of the 6th. 3-3. First 3 batters for MKS. Brian Bassett, Jordan Bear, and Levi Orsbon. At this time, we have our own rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Our scorekeeper for the entire tournament has been Mr. Jeff Helm. And here we go with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the crowd. Finding something that's in black for Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Let's look for the it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game. All right. Our official scorekeeper to my left, Jeff Helm, does an outstanding job. In absentia of Steve Lotzenheiser, our longtime scorekeeper, unable to be here this weekend as his son, his youngest son, is moving to Xavier, where he is the assistant sports information director there. That would be Greg Lotzenheiser. Congratulations to Greg. Steve, we miss you, but we carry on. Jeff Helm doing a nice job. And Brian Bassett is safe at first, so MKS gets their leadoff runner on here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jordy Bear, your batter, came in for LaFountain, or excuse me, came in for Nick Nissel. Briggs Orsbon came in for LaFountain. Jordy Bear, your batter. Brian Bassett on first, nobody out. They try to go for the force out, and that's going to see a play at the plate. Bassett all the way around, he scores on the overthrow at second base. Malachi Murphy wanted to keep that lead runner at first and get the force, and it backfired. And MKS takes the lead here in the bottom of the 6th by a score of 4-3, and they're still batting with nobody out. Levi Orsbon, your batter. Jordy Bear on second. He's looking to go yard. It's deep down the left field line, and it's foul. So we'll reset things here with Levi Orsbon at the plate. Malachi Murphy pitching. I think he got that one. It's coming right to us. And it's caught by none other than Jeff Helm up here in the press box. But that, my friends, is a 2-run homer. And MKS is making a statement here in the bottom of the 6th inning that they want to three-peat as Renway Park Wiffleball champions. That's another home run sponsored by Bill Miller Auto Sales. So with the bases empty, 3 runs across the plate and no outs, Nathan Bassett, your batter. And he shoots one up the middle. Safe at first. Again, he's got a wheel that's not 100%. Tony Springer coming to the plate. He's homered in this game. Springer hits it down to Ralston at third. He's going to have to eat that one. Nothing you can do with that one. So this might be that explosive inning that we've seen MKS put together throughout the tournament. Right now they have 3 runs with nobody out. And I believe that's Briggs Orsbon at the plate. And he does pop out to Cole Ralston at third base. So with 1 out, runners still on first and second. Brian Bassett back at the plate. Malachi Murphy with the pitch. Three balls, 3 strikes. That's what you get at the plate. Bassett goes to the right side. What do we have here? They had a play where they missed Springer with the tag, but they got the batter. They got Brian Bassett at first. So 2 outs, but the runners move up. Nice piece of hitting to the right side to move the runners up. So with 2 outs, it's Jordy Bear. And Malachi Murphy takes care of that one. But damage has been done by MKS. They pick up 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th to go up by a score of 6-3. So it's do or die here for the Eager Beavers. They've had an outstanding game here. They've competed as well as anyone has with MKS, but they find themselves down 3 runs going into the top of the 7th. We want to congratulate Austin Adams, who was our Skills Challenge champion this year. We had a combination of running, hitting, and throwing, and Austin Adams, on his times, won the competition in the prelims. He had a time of 15 seconds, and in the championship, it was 12. A combination of throwing from home to second, running the bases, hitting the ball 5 times to try and hit it out of the park, and then throwing 3 balls from left field into home plate. Congratulations, Austin. Well, the Eager Beavers, they have 1 out in the inning already, and they have 2 outs left in order to try and pull themselves even or go ahead, and they got a lot of work to do, quite frankly. Cole Ralston, your back. And he puts it up in the air, and the pressure of trying to do that and knowing you have to do that, they're down to their last out are the Eager Beavers. They've represented themselves well, but MKS 1 out away from a three-peat. Malachi Murphy is your batter. I want to thank Zach Bowers, Hannah Beck, Amber Chambers, and Lucas Hines, the crew from WOSN, coming to Renway Park this evening to do the videotaping and joining me for the ride. It's been a pleasure sharing tonight's game with you. And the Eager Beavers, a little bit of life here as we see our first walk of the championship game. as Malachi Murphy trots down to first base. Mark Evans, your batter. He came in again. He came in the game for Brock Ralston, who was in that collision with Sean LaFountain, who also left the game. Hey, Bassett, Brian Bassett, who came in to pitch when Nick Missler left the game. That is your third out of the inning. Three-peat, MKS. And you can see Levi Orsbaugh out at second base holding up three fingers in each hand. The first ever three-peat at Renway Park. And let the post-game pageantry begin as the confetti hits the field, the fireworks, and the spotlights. And here we are again with the champions, MKS, three-peating. A celebration for MKS Siding. And the Eager Beavers, first time they've been in the tournament, this collection of athletes, some veterans who have played on other teams on the Eager Beavers, they represent themselves well. But MKS, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I know, we have not seen a team put together like this one has. And they're very, very, very much in their prime. 15 other teams are going to have to work hard between now and next year, the third full weekend in August, to try and figure out how to beat MKS Siding. MKS Siding, again, the members of this team. They include Sean LaFountain, who left early in the game due to a concussion. Brian Bassett, Nick Missler, Levi Orsbaugh, Nathan Bassett, Tony Springer, Briggs Orsbaugh, Jordan Bear, assistant coach Mark Gregory, and head coach and owner of MKS Siding, Billy McCoy. And we'll be right back after this message. We're back at Renway Park, and at this time you can see again the smoke from the fireworks as the post-game celebration continues. And at this time we're seeing MKS being presented with the coveted championship t-shirts for this year number 23 of Renway Park Wiffleball Warehouse action. The traditional championship t-shirt coupled with the bottle of champagne and as you can see, the confetti-strewn field is now owned once again by MKS Siding, your three-peat champion. They have the trophy, they have the t-shirts, they have the glory. And another tradition here at Renway Park, you'll see MKS Siding with "We Are the Champions" being played, take their victory lap around the perimeter of Renway Park. Again, the Wiffleball Warehouse Committee and Commissioner Jack Davis would like to thank WSN for coming this evening, and we hope you enjoyed the championship game year 23 style. And until next year, 364 days from now, it's been my pleasure. I'm Dave Bowen, and until next year, the third full weekend in August, the warehouse is officially closed. Have a great evening, everybody.